And happy Wednesday to you. So we are back now with our second showcase of today. We have been spending this week with our wonderful clients from the Coaching Catalyst Collective and also our supervisors. And we've been talking all things supervision. So we have another very special guest for you today. Going to introduce to you very shortly, Christos Harrison, who is one of our coaches in the Coaching Catalyst Collective. He's going to talk about himself and his coaching journey, but also he's going to share with you today what he gets from being in the collective and specifically in supervision in the collective. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Christos on to join me on the virtual stage. Here we are. Welcome, Christos. How are you?
I'm good, Sarah. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Great to have you here with me today. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
So Christos, I'd love you to please introduce yourself. For anybody watching, who are you? Let's hear a bit about you, Christos.
Okay. Short version, very short version. Mindset mentor and mindset coach. But in reality, rather than mentoring, I actually teach it. And that's the way that I prefer to use it, but people understand mentoring. And it's something that journey started properly back in 2013. So that it's been a continuous study to try and understand why we do what we do, how the mind works, what happens with our brain when we start learning things. So that's neuroplasticity, neurogenesis, everything else that goes into that. It's understanding of our habits and how to break them so we can move forward. And that's really what I do with the majority of my clients. And it's something that I'll mention a little bit later on from your previous interview with Natalie Costa. There's something that I realized that she was speaking about why she does her supervision. And I realized that there's something that's common in all of us, why we come to supervision and what we draw out of it. And so that's really basically me. I'm on my journey to being a coach, on building a coaching business. And as you know, I'm with the Coaching Academy finishing the diploma soon, pretty soon. So that's where I am.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So really interesting to hear from you that you combine the mindset teaching or mentoring with the work that you do as a coach. Fantastic. And can you just give us an idea then in terms of the clients that you work with and which sort of people do you work with and how does what you do help them?
You know, I remember Chris Robertson, bless him, when he once said that he can coach anybody on anything. And I remember even then thinking, yeah, that can't be right. You know, because of our experiences. So my cognitive bias then, when I started, was that we can't coach anybody on things that we're not aware of. Whereas we know that if you don't know something, the coaching is actually more effective because you have no judgment, no opinion, especially if you can't cut it out. And it's, for me, it doesn't really matter what my clients come with, but what I find myself continually doing is that I'm working on the client's mindset more than anything else. So they might come with, for example, well-being, and then we'll delve into that well-being and figure out what it is. What is the habitual forms of thinking behind that are causing a lack of well-being? If you're not getting the job that you want to get, and what is it that you believe about yourself? What is it, your self-image? What is your ego? Is your ego getting in the way? And it's just a different, it's my form of questioning that's based around the mindset rather than, for example, someone that's like Natalie Costa, who deals with children and the parents. Her method of questioning is going to be based around that, and mine is based around mindset. A business coach will be based on business, and that's what I help them with. It's just getting, in reality, clarity of who they are, what they are, and the direction that they want to take, which is what we all do. But I do it from a mindset perspective and the thought, really the thought.
That is, yeah, wonderful to hear, Christos. Thank you. So it doesn't matter who we are or what role we play for all of us, when we are able to recognize the thinking patterns that are going on and we're able to make changes and strengthen our mindset so that we become more resilient, then that improves our performance in all areas. It doesn't matter whether that's in life or in work or whichever context you're talking about. The
Yeah.
mindset work is so valuable for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can only take your client as far as you've gone. We know that.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. I think that's really worth sort of hanging on to. And Lucy Power, who came and did the wonderful session on transactional analysis, reminded us of that when she shared her session
That's
in
right.
the collective recently.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. So, Christos, can I ask you, it's an absolute joy to have you in supervision with us in the collective. What was it that brought you to the collective initially?
You. Short answer is you, because when we were going through the coaching academy and you were doing all of the lessons in there, it's just your energy and the way that you do things, and it was it's your attitude and your character that actually said to me. And when I heard about the supervision, when I got in touch with you, I said, I know I need to do this. And meeting Rebecca as well, I understood why you're a great team together, because you've got two different perceptions on the business approach and on the coaching approach. But from on the other side, as in why did I feel that I needed to do that, is because I know for a fact that trying to do something by yourself, it's not going to get you anywhere. And we try and isolate ourselves. We try to keep ourselves together, not to move forward in a certain way, because we believe that we can do it all by ourselves, that we don't need any help, and that everything's going to fall into place. The fact is that it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing, you always need that support. And when I say support, it doesn't necessarily mean someone holding your hand to guide you along. It's the fact that you're surrounded by people that are on the same journey as you, and you begin to understand their challenges. And in seeing their challenges, you see yours, because the way that we see our lives, we're in our own bubble and we can't see out of it. And we need someone else to see inside of it. And even if they don't always see inside of it, because we can see someone else's challenges, we begin to see the cognitive biases that we've developed, the habits that we've developed, and the thinking that sits behind that, to say, you've got to make this move, or you've got to look at it in this direction. You've got to step into those shoes and see something different. And that's what it's helped me do, especially when it comes to things like being objective with my clients, being non-judgmental with my clients, not allowing my ego to step in. Because initially it was a case of, yeah, but I know what you're talking about. I know the direction you should take. I need to give you some tips and advice. And through the coaching collective that we've got, I'm listening to all the folks that we've got in there, and we've all had this struggle. And it's good to hear that, because it helps your ego a little bit, in that you're not alone in that struggle. But it also helps us to realize, right, hold on a second, this is a challenge that we all face. And the reason I use the word challenge, not an issue, not a problem or anything else, is because a challenge can be overcome. So nowadays, I'm not doing that anymore. By simply recognizing it in others, then it allowed me to see it in myself, and then I could move forward. And that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, amazing, Christos. It's really great to hear that. And as you were speaking, what you were saying was really resonating with me, that yeah, we can go into business, we can go into coaching, and we can choose to do it alone, but it's a tough place to be.
Yeah.
And actually, when we come together collectively, we're stronger together. And when you were telling that story, you reminded me of when Rebecca and I were first discussing going into partnership together. When she had made the decision that that's what she wanted to do, she sent me a text from an African proverb, which is along the lines of, if you want to go faster, go alone, but if you want to go further, do it together. And I feel that in the collective, because we're working together, we're listening to each other's challenges and sharing in those challenges and recognizing that we're not alone. We are all going to go further, because we're benefiting not just from our own coaching experience, but we're benefiting so much from everything else that everybody else brings to the sessions. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like doing for example, during the triads or just our standard supervision days, it's when someone says, this is a challenge that I've had, and they bring the challenge forward, you think to yourself, have I actually had that challenge? Or I've had that challenge. So even if you haven't had it, you've already got like Bob Proctor used to call it advanced decision making. So it's like you already know what you're going to do. You've got a predetermined idea of what might work in that situation. It's not going to be perfect for every situation, but at least you've got a baseline, you've got a benchmark you can go from. And by having that, it helps us move further and is smoother with our clients, especially in the questioning process or trying to figure something out, getting more curious, getting more inquisitive, and figuring something out, you know.
Mm.
And you mentioned isolation. It's something Natalie Costa mentioned this morning. And
Mm-mm.
for me, I'm quite an introvert. I would rather stay in my office than go anywhere else. So by being isolated, you can think and you can come up with some ideas. But the problem with isolation is that it doesn't help you move forward. And it's like Sarah said, it's like you said, Sarah, it doesn't, we can move faster to some degree, but there comes a point where you think to yourself, well, what am I going to do next? What's the next goal? Or what do I need to do to get to that point? And when you're in a group that is full of people that are going in the same direction as you, and some of them are further ahead from you, which is great because then you can get the idea of where do I want to go? What is my niche? How do I build a business? What do I need to do next? What is that next step? And there are people like you and Rebecca, you're already there, obviously. So we can ask those questions, say, right, well, I'm doing this. What would you do in that place? And then you can get an answer. And it's not just from you and Rebecca, but it's everybody else or the folks that are there. You can get an answer almost straight away sometimes, and usually straight away, to be honest, because of the enthusiasm that goes within the group. And having that helps you and your own motivation. It's definitely helped my motivation in continuing to say, right, I know I'm resilient. I know that. I'm ex-army. I'm fine. I'm resilient. Um, I don't mind going forward. I don't mind hardship. That's fine. I can do that. But having people around you that are saying, you don't really need to do that. You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to walk this path alone is good. And it gives you the motivation, it gives you the inspiration to continue moving in that direction. And your resilience builds. You feel empowered, which is what we do with our clients. We get them empowered. And by feeling empowered, you're actually moving further. And this is why we move further. We feel more empowered, we feel more resilient, we feel more confident in the fact that if we come across a challenge, then we can reach out to that group and say, this is my challenge. Has anybody dealt with it before? And someone will always come back and say, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And there's loads of ideas. And we do this consistently. And because of that, we are finding solutions not only for ourselves and our clients, but for every other coach within the group and their clients. So a single answer is not going to help just one person. It helps a community. And that community then helps however many clients each of us is dealing with at the time. You just never know how far that message is going to go.
Yeah, you're right. That's such a wonderful power, isn't it, of
Yeah,
supervision, that actually you can offer, you can offer solutions, you can ask for feedback, you can ask people, what have you
yeah,
done? What would you do in my situation? And when you're contributing in the context of group supervision, you're right, you're not only helping the other coaches that you're in supervision
yeah,
with, but you're supporting them, you're supporting their clients. There's a real sense of
yeah,
ripple effect there.
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
really great. That's really great learning. And, one thing Rebecca and I say is we all know that as coaches, we need coaches. And we believe that that is true at different points
Yeah,
when we reach a transition, when we want to grow. Absolutely, we need to invest in coaching. But
hmm,
actually, we need coaching some of the time. Whereas, in our opinion, we need to be in supervision all of the time, because as
Yeah.
long as we're working with clients, we're going to come up with challenges, ethical dilemmas, the need to reflect it on our practice. And
Yeah.
actually, supervision is the place where we take all of those things.
Yeah. I mean, the word reflect is actually really appropriate for my next point, to be honest.
Mm.
And when I was listening to Natalie this morning, she mentioned something, and I can't remember what she said, but it was the fact that the minute she said it, I thought to myself, we actually bring ourselves to the supervision. When I said ourselves, I put that in inverted commas, because behind that, what I was actually thinking about was our own cognitive biases. And it's the challenge with a cognitive bias is that you can't see it. It's so underlying. It's like the undercurrents in a sea. You can see the wave, but underneath that, a couple of feet underneath, there's another current that goes in an opposite direction, and we don't see that. Those are our beliefs, our paradigms, and everything that puts us in a certain way of thinking. So when we get ourselves within the collective, when we get ourselves within the group that we're part of, that because we've built that trust, we've built our boundaries, we've said, today I don't want to be challenged too much, because I'm feeling really sensitive. Yeah. You know that that's what's going to happen. When that happens, your cognitive biases begin to melt. And not only that, but you become more aware of what they are, and you become aware of when someone else says something, you think to yourself, is that actually right? Is that wrong? Do I need to research it? Or does it make sense? And you begin to ask yourself questions. You become aware of something that you weren't aware of before. And I think that is one of the most powerful things that I've drawn out from personally from the collective. So when I say that we bring ourselves to it, I think what tends to happen is that we come with a certain mindset and we reflect that mindset in our own learning. And it's because of that that we begin to improve, that we begin to feel more secure in ourselves and in what we do. And it's when you can trust yourself to be able to do what you meant to do, as in to be the coach that we're meant to be for our client. That's when we truly begin to empower the client, our coachee, to do what they need to do to help them properly. And
Mm.
once we do that, that's when we start seeing, real incredible results in our clients. And that's what I've seen recently with one of mine. It's that it's that vision that suddenly takes over, that says, I didn't see that before, but now I see it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. And so, what we're doing in supervision is we're sort of really unraveling, we're looking below the surface, we're raising that self awareness to see things that we hadn't previously seen. And of course, when we do that for ourselves, it impacts on the way in which we show up for
Yeah,
our clients.
absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, Christos, I'm just conscious of time, because I think you and I could be here all day talking about supervision. But let's just bring this to a close now by asking you, what would you say to somebody who is considering joining the Coaching Catalyst Collective?
Well, first of all, I would tear the word considering out completely, right? What you've got to realize about supervision is that it's not about going in there and being at the lowest level of what you think you are. It doesn't exist. You're going to set boundaries, you're going to meet people, and you're going to find yourself on a stream that, who said it now? Esther Hicks, The Teachings of Abraham. You're going to get on the boat that's going to take you upstream. Rather than you paddling upstream, you're going to find yourself slowly being on a boat that's going to take you downstream, and you're not even paddling anymore, and you won't even realize it. Not talking about manifestation. I'm saying about, you're going to find yourself in a room of people that are thinking the same as you, and you don't even know it yet. But you're going to feel yourself moving forward in ways that you haven't. You're going to become more aware, and becoming more aware means that you can help yourself. It means that you can help your clients better. And if you can help your clients better, you're eventually helping yourself because you're providing a better service. That's what I've got from supervision. But in addition to that, it's the growth, it's the personal growth that you get that you wouldn't actually get otherwise. There's the old proverb, and Bruce Lee said it, a fool, what is it? It's a fool can't learn anything from, a wise man can learn more from a stupid question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. In our case, what we're doing is that we're coming to supervision. We're allowing ourselves the openness, the freedom, and the area of non-judgment, where we're entering into an area of trust that we can say, where can I fail? There isn't anything that I can't say, because everybody else has been through it, understands it, feels it, and you're able to get answers to things that you won't get otherwise. And I mean that quite sincerely, because there's answers that I've had recently that I wouldn't have got otherwise. And supervision is not something that I would say, think about it. You just do it, just like I did.
You did. You did. You trusted us and you jumped in and you haven't looked
Absolutely.
back. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you. So we are taking that word considering out of the sentence.
Absolutely.
Saying, guys, it's an absolute essential. And I wholeheartedly, Christos, agree with you. For me, in my practice, from the very beginning, it really has been an essential part of my practice. And I can't imagine not being in supervision. It's really, really been, it's been essential. It's been essential to me in my development as a coach. There's no doubt about it. Okay.
Let me just jump. I know you want to get off. Let me just jump in really quickly, because it's something that you said earlier this morning about coaching, and supervision is not part of the standard CPD, and that, but in the future it may be. The fact is that it's not whether it's something that we need to do legally. It's something that we need to do as coaches for ourselves. And I think that is that personal development that we need to maintain to keep ourselves moving forward.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut up now.
No, you're great. You're great. Thank you for reiterating that point. You're right. It's not waiting for some kind of coaching body to come along and say, you need to be in supervision. It's actually taking that personal responsibility ourselves and saying, do you know what? I recognize if I want to be the best coach I can be, 100%, I need to be in supervision. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. Couldn't agree more.
Okay. Christos, what a great conversation. If you're watching us and you've got to this point, really well done, because Christos and I, frankly, could be here all day. We really do share this love and passion for all things supervision. Christos, if people want to connect with you after our conversation today, what's the best way for them to do that?
Best way, go on LinkedIn, find me on LinkedIn, send me a direct message. That's the easiest way. Perfect. I'm always on there. Phone's already on. I can see their LinkedIn messages coming, so that's fine.
Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you. So for those of you watching, I've popped those links to Christos's website and also to LinkedIn into the chat here. So we've got that here. Okay, Christos, it has been an absolute joy to speak to you today. Thank you so much for your generosity in all that you have shared. We really value you in the collective, and thank you really for really banging the drum for supervision. And we really appreciate your time. So big thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Really, really interesting to hear, as a coach, the ways in which supervision has really supported Christos and continues to support him in developing his practice. So what's this all about then? Well, I'm very excited to share with you, if you don't already know, that doors are open to the Coaching Catalyst Collective. What we offer in the collective is we offer both supervision, but also learning and development, coaching triads, so you have an opportunity to coach, to be coached, and to observe coaching, and community and connection for coaches, which is really, really important because it can be a lonely profession. So if you would like to join us, you need to head please to bit.ly/coaching-collective and sign up. Doors are closing on Friday, the 22nd of September at 3 p.m. If you want to speak to Rebecca and I first and find out more about it, find out if it's a good fit for you, please do get in touch with us, send us a DM, send us an email, come and book a call. We'd be really, really happy to speak to you. The places for the groups are filling quickly. We've got a limit of 6 places per cohort. So do please take the opportunity to come and join us while you can. All right, anybody watching, thank you so much. And give us a hashtag replay. Let us know your thoughts, and do go over and connect with Christos in the comments that I have shared the links to his website and to his LinkedIn there. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We will be back tomorrow with some more showcases. All right, take care. Bye-bye.